What's up, guys? I just wanted to tell you a story that happened to me about a year or two ago. It's not really embarrassing now, but in the moment, I wanted to literally disappear into my seat, specifically the seat of my truck. But first, welcome to this video. My name is Zenacity, and I do a bunch of different stuff, mostly horror games, but I try to mix in a few things here and there. And if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to hit subscribe. So let's get into my embarrassing story. So like I said, this took place about a year ago, and I was in college living the dream, no money, was bored out of my mind, stressed out with homework and everything going on. I didn't have a job, so I had no income coming in, and things were, going great. And since I was bored, a lot of times people will just like drive around, and because, it's like that kind of freedom you have. Well, my friend and I decided to drive around this one day, and let's just call him Steve. To tell you a little bit about Steve, Steve is this kind of guy that we called the wild man in high school. And while we only had 120 kids in our graduating class, which isn't a lot, but it's not tiny either, he was the kind of guy that you knew would be doing crazy stuff all the time. I don't know if he liked attention, and I'm sure he does like attention. And he was in the drama club and everything. He's a really cool guy. Anyway, I ended up being his dorm mate, which is why we became such close friends. And sometimes he would literally start playing his guitar as I was trying to fall asleep. I don't know if you've ever had somebody like that, but I'm getting up for class in the morning. I don't want you playing your guitar and staring at me from a foot away. I'm sorry. And today Steve decided to join me whenever I went to go drive around and do whatever I was gonna do. And so that's what we did. We got into my truck and drove around. And I forgot exactly where we were. We might have been coming away from a Best Buy, and we pulled up to this intersection, and I was gonna turn left, and it was, like a one-way turning lane into like a 2-lane road or 4-lane road, however you want to say it. And a lot of times, I don't know if it's legal or not, to be honest, but whenever you turn left, sometimes, you'll turn into the rightmost lane instead of leftmost, which probably leftmost is what you're supposed to do, but I see people do it all the time. Anyway, well, that's what I decided to do. And this was the one time I should not have, because whenever I went, I didn't see anything, the light turned green, I was doing just fine. And all of a sudden I was getting honked at, and I kind of started freaking out. I was like, what did I do? I didn't even know it was me. I thought they were honking at somebody else. And this guy just pulled up like right next to me, window to window, and started cussing me out and, doing all these hand motions and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know what I did. Like, I didn't see you. So apparently this is what happened. Apparently he was turning right at that stoplight, and he had a yield sign and he was turning right. And apparently he didn't see me either. And as I was turning left into the right lane, he was coming out. Yield sign, I don't know whose fault it would be, if it was mine or his, because either way, we didn't see each other. And we were going, and apparently I just about took his head off, and he got mad and stuff. I was just like, well, whatever, I'm just gonna get away from this guy because he won't stop cussing me out, whatever. And so I decided to just get off the main road because this guy wouldn't leave me alone. And I just kind of did a big loop with some back roads. And things were fine. Steve and I went to Walmart, and we did our thing, just walked around pretty much because we didn't have money to buy anything. And once we came back to the truck, we talked about it for a little bit, like what had happened. And I was just like, it's fine. It's like a 1 in a million chance we'll ever see that guy again anyway, like ever. And I kid you not, less than 20 minutes later, we are going back to the dorms, and this guy ends up at the same stoplight as us. We're headed this way, just gonna go straight across, and this guy pulls up right here. And I didn't notice him, but Steve pointed him out. He's like, hey, isn't that the guy we just about hit earlier? And I was just like, oh yeah, it is. Just try not to draw attention to ourselves, just kind of like go invisible. And he literally was on the phone talking to someone, and he starts pointing at us and like yelling, and just from like what I assume he was saying after pointing and everything, I assume he was saying, those are the guys that about hit me. Probably using a lot more crude language than that, but just yelling that. It was just like pointing at us the whole time we were going across this main road. And I just started like, don't mind me. I'm not here. It wasn't me in the first place. And, things were fine. I don't think I've seen him since. I hope not. Anytime he sees a truck like mine, he's probably like, that's the guy. He's the one who about hit me. And yeah, that's how things went. And we got back to the dorm, and Steve was just making so much fun of me for about hitting somebody, and then, you know, saying that, and just how ironic it was that I said that we would have a 1 in a million chance of seeing them, which is probably true. And we did. And then I literally wanted to disappear in my seat. I've got a lot more small stories like that. So if you guys would want to hear these kinds of things just going on in my life, whether past, present, or what's going on, I guess, in the future, if I can tell that, just go ahead and hit that subscribe. Wow. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.